Going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode. I'm SwipaCam. Welcome to the channel. Y'all, how's everything going? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're living well. Y'all, I need to say this, man. We got to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Look, I know, y'all, the season's been slow. Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. been out, y'all, but we are literally doing something that can't be matched on YouTube. The content that we are putting out, the level we're trying to get to, man, let's continue to build this community. Let's get to 10,000 subscribers ASAP, y'all. We are on the way to 9,000. Let's get there. Press that subscribe button, man. Let's continue to build this community together. So, y'all, I wanted to do a little mid-season preview. Denver Nuggets. The state of the Nuggets. The Nuggets are currently 33-25. They've had to go through crazy amounts of injury. We lost Yoke for 6 games, one with a suspension. We've been missing Jamal Murray all season. We've been missing Michael Porter Jr. since game 9, and he was hurt before then. Will Barton been in and out the lineup. Monty Morris. AG had a hammy that he had some injuries with. Bones Highland in and out with ankle injuries. The Facundo Campazzo experiment with the worst plus-minus of any 500-plus team in the NBA. We've been dealing with it, man. Even Coach Malone was out with COVID. So, y'all, the thing I want us to hold on to right now is to remind ourselves the Denver Nuggets are sitting at 33-25 despite all of that. Despite all of that, the Denver Nuggets are sitting at 6th in the Western Conference. They're a game and a half behind the Dallas Mavericks, and they're 3 games behind the Utah Jazz. And they have the easiest schedule coming up for the rest of the NBA. So I want everything to be held in perspective. We have gone through a tremendous amount of difficulties. But even still, look at where this team is. Y'all, think about this. Coming out of the break on Thursday, the Denver Nuggets play against the Kings at Sacramento. They play against the Kings in Denver. They play at Portland. Then they play against OKC in Denver. They play versus the Rockets in Denver and then the Pelicans in Denver. They're already on a 3-game win streak, and they have the possibility to add 6 more wins to that. If they do that, there's a possibility they not only could vault into the 5 seed, they could vault into the 4 seed and leave behind that 7 seed even more. Everything needs to be in context. I think the Nuggets have really struggled at many points in time. They struggled against great teams. They're 0-3 versus Memphis. I want to say they're 0-3 or even 0-4 versus Utah. They've had a lot of things they haven't done well. Against plus 500 teams, they haven't played well. But here's the thing I want us to hold on to, y'all. Ever since January took a turn, they've been on a different tear. They've been a different team. Remember now, in January, I think they went 11-5. They went 11-5 in January. And we're sitting here in February. You know, they got 5 wins in February. They got 3 more games this month. If there's an opportunity for them to really make a move, man, like we had a really, really bad stretch at the beginning of February. At the end of January, they had 5 straight wins. They had 5 straight wins, and they had 3 straight losses. They won 2 games, lost 1, and then they won 3. In the last 3 games they played, they beaten the Raptors, clutch situation. They beaten the Warriors, clutch situations. I want to say they're like 14-11, 14-13 in clutch situation games now. Again, y'all, like, I realize this season's been difficult, but I think there's a lot to celebrate. The fact of the matter is, Monte Morris has stepped up in ways that I can't say many people could have saw him stepping up to. Like, he has been a starting point guard for a good team the entire season. For a good team the entire season, he has been a godsend. He's been a godsend. You think about where this team would be without Monte Morris. Think about where they would be without Monte Morris. Monte Morris has been the quintessential point guard. He's been decisive, low turnovers, high volume assist. He has done a lot of things very well. Right now, Monte Morris is averaging 12.7 points a game, and then he's also averaging 4.3 assists a game, which is second on the team. Y'all, that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. And Monte Morris is averaging 30 minutes a game. And again, given the state that the Nuggets were in, the fact that you're playing Monte Morris 30 minutes a game, he's giving you minutes, he's giving you time, and he's been pretty good. He's been pretty good. I mean, he's shooting 47% from the field, 48% from the field. He's shooting 38% from 3 on 12.7 points per game. I mean, there's not much you can ask for. There's not a lot you can ask for from somebody who wasn't supposed to be in a situation. So Monte Morris gets a key shout out from me for how well he's played. Flint, Michigan's very own had a game-winning shot versus Golden State Warriors. I think that needs to be celebrated, man. 12.7 on 4.3 assists, and he's averaging 1 turnover a game. That's a 4-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. That's insane, man. So shout out to Monte Morris. He's been a great addition. Will Barton, he started the season off really well, and he's kind of tailored off a little bit since then. But Will Barton's averaging 15 points a game, 5 rebounds a game, 4 assists a game. And y'all, he's shooting decent. It's not great. Will Barton shooting 37% from 3, 78% from the line, and 44% from the field. Now, again, as the 5th option, excellent. Great. 44% from the field, that will go up when Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. come back. But 37% from 3, averaging 15 points a game, you can live with that. That's probably going to go down when everybody get back. But again, he's stepping up. He's played good defense. He has not been perfect. He's been inconsistent at many points in time. I thought he should have been better at many points in time. I was much higher on him to start this season. But again, with all the injuries that the Nuggets have gone through, Will Barton had made it his business to be there as available as possible, even though he hasn't played well at times. Like the Warriors game, he didn't play well. They couldn't close with him. But Will Barton's been big. I think the MVP of the team outside of Nikola Jokic has been Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon this season is shooting 51.6% from the field. He's like 80% at the rim this season. He's shooting 33% from 3, 74% from the line. He's also shooting 60% on his 2s altogether. And Aaron Gordon, y'all, 14.5 points a game, 5.8 rebounds a game, 2.6 assists per game. And he has clearly been the second best player for the Denver Nuggets this season. We would not be here, 33-25, without Aaron Gordon. He played really great defense in stretches when he's needed to, but he's also picked up the offensive load and burden when he's needed to as well. He had 30 points this season at a point in time. He had 25 points at other points in time. He has really been efficient, and he's been very good next to Yoke. I couldn't have imagined the roster shaping out better than what it's been in terms of Aaron Gordon's fit. He's been perfect, even better than Jeremy Grant in a lot of ways. So shout out to Aaron Gordon. I want to also highlight 2 of the new additions, man. Think about this. A matter of fact, 3 additions. I want to highlight Jeff Green. I want to highlight Brent Forbes, and then soon to be Boogie Cousins. If you didn't know Boogie Cousins, it looks like he's going to sign on Friday a guaranteed contract for the rest of the season. Boogie Cousins is 8-0 with the Denver Nuggets in the lineup. He's been excellent this season. I think 6 points, 6 rebounds. He has not shot well, but the thing is, he's been such an interior presence. It's literally changed the way that the bench unit is playing, and they're much better because of him. Brent Forbes this season has been really good with the Denver Nuggets. He played, I think, 15 games with the Nuggets now, around there. 10.6 points per game, which is good. And Brent Forbes is shooting 93% from the line and 43% from 3. Again, man, they needed a shooter. They needed a floor spacer. They needed somebody that could take the pressure off whoever the point guard was and make sure they had the opportunity to open up the court. And that way, when you're penetrating and you're driving, you can kick it out to somebody reliable. So Brent Forbes has been a great addition. Jeff Green's been a great addition. 10 points this season. 10 points per game this season. He's not a great rebounder at 3 rebounds a game. But again, man, he's playing 24 and a half minutes a game. And he did not expect to be doing that. But if they didn't have Jeff Green, I'm telling you, man, this team would be in a very different place. He's been super explosive at times this season. He's really been a great addition to this team. He's done a lot of things really well. He has had some moments where he's played great wing defense as well. The thing is, Jeff Green is 6'8". He's a long athlete, very explosive. And again, he's taken a lot of pressure off this team. And having Jeff Green, having Aaron Gordon out there has really made a difference where this team is and how it's been functioning, because you've given them 2 athletic wings. And Jokic really made that work very well. Shout out Jeff Green. Another player I want to shout out is Bones Highland. Bones Highland is moved into the backup point guard spot. He's even started a few games this season. You got a rookie point guard taking that kind of responsibility for this team, and he's done very well given the circumstances. 18 minutes a game, 8.8 points per game, 2.7 rebounds, and 2 assists. Not a great assist to turnover ratio. It's averaging essentially about 1.6 turnovers per game. But Bones Highland is stepping up as a shooter. He's shooting 37% from the field, which isn't great. That's not great. That's not what you're looking for. He's shooting 88% from the line, though. 88% from the line. And he's shooting 35% from 3. And that's all gone up. All those numbers have gone up since the turn of the year. And Bones Highland has been really integral. I think having that bench unit of Bones Highland, Brent Forbes, having Boogie Cousins in that lineup, I think that threesome, that trio right there, I think that's something you can play with through the rest of the season. And then obviously until Monte Morris takes over that bench role, I think having that lineup works really well. And even maybe they go small. Maybe they decide they want to play JaMychal Green or Zeke Naji, and they want to have Monty Morris, Bones Highland, and Brent Forbes in the game as well. And then rotating Austin Rivers situationally with his great defense that he played. He played great defense against Steph Curry the other night. So I think there's a way for that lineup to work, for them to stay small but have shooters that can help and then make it a little bit easier for everybody to be able to do what they need to do. So really, man, shout out to that bench unit, man. Like, they've gotten way better since the start of the year, when they were literally one of the worst benches in the NBA. So really, really proud of them, man, how they've really stepped up and changed the way they've been playing. Then obviously, y'all, the MVP of the team is Nikola Jokic. He's averaging 26 points per game, 14 rebounds, and 8 assists on 57% shooting, 38% from three, 82% from the line. He has the highest PR of all time, highest box plus minus of all time. I'm going to get to that in another section, another video. We're going to talk all NBA midseason, talk about the MVP of the season so far for the NBA. But there's not, again, man, like, I think he's been the best player in the league. I think him, Giannis, and Embiid all have a case. But again, per all the advanced data, the counting stats, the team he's been carrying, the injuries that the team has dealt with, I just don't think there's anybody that's been more valuable to the team. It doesn't matter who it is. Giannis hasn't been more valuable. Embiid hasn't been more valuable. I think the 76ers are 4-8 without Embiid. The Bucks are maybe like 1-11 without Giannis. But again, his on-court impact is great, but it's not been what Jokic been from a plus-minus standpoint, offensive or defensive rating. And then also, again, Jokic, I think the Nuggets are 1-5 without him in the lineup. And then literally they're one of the worst teams in the NBA without him off the court throughout the entire season. They're one of the best with him on. Again, I just don't think there's much argument to say that he hasn't been the most valuable and best player this season in the NBA. And I want to talk about Coach Michael Malone too, man. Coach Michael Malone has made some really good decisions as of late. You know, that Facundo Campazzo experiment, because again, that's probably his biggest weakness. That was something that he really struggled with for a while. You know, he played him, I think, about 45 games to the season. Facu was still getting crazy minutes, a lot more minutes. You know, he played Facu 17 minutes straight two times, 17 minutes straight twice this season, thinking at the Clippers, and then also the game against Boston that they lost. Both of them were losses, but he made some really good adjustments, putting Bones Highland in the starting lineup when he needed to, putting Bones Highland off the bench first when he needed to, and then also shuffling around the deck. And he's made this team work. And again, to be 33-25 with all the injuries they've had, shout out to Michael Malone. I thought that Golden State game when he outcoached Steve Kerr down the stretch, fouling Kevon Looney, I think that was the best performance he's had all season. Masterclass performance from Michael Malone. Again, he had COVID. You know, Popeye Jones had to take over. Popeye was in the lineup. The team was just not as sharp, not as functional because, you know, Michael Malone is one of the best coaches in the NBA. So I personally am very pleased with how they've been this year. They obviously lost some games they shouldn't have lost. The Magic game, the OKC game, the Clippers game, the Boston game they shouldn't have lost. Honestly, legitly, y'all, there's probably 4 or 5 losses that this team had that they shouldn't have. They were beating Utah. They should have won that game. So even if I go back in the schedule, they should have beat the Celtics. But, you know, Facu played 17 minutes down the stretch. Wasn't going to work. They should have beat the Pelicans. They lost to the Grizzlies. That was a close game. They could have beat the Grizzlies that game. They lost to the Clippers by 2 points. They should have won that game. Again, they have that loss to the Jazz, in which I think Jokic was a plus in that game, like a +6. The bench was like a -25 or something like that. Outrageous. They should have beat the Hornets. They were up by 20 on the Hornets. They lost that game. They lost to OKC and the Hornets back-to-back. And it's just terrible losses. Let's see here. And they lost to the Magic. So if you just take those games right there, y'all, one with the Magics, and then take the game with the Hornets and the Thunder, that's 3. And then you take the Clippers game, that's 4. And then you take that Boston game, that's 5. That's 5 losses, and the Nuggets would be 38-20. Yeah, I mean, essentially right now, they're 33-25. They'll be 38-20 without those terrible losses on their ledger. Makes all the difference, man. That's how tight the season has been. That's how tight the season has been. Yeah, like that's crazy. Like, they'll be 38-20 with 5 more wins and 5 less losses, And right now, they be sitting here at essentially tied for the fourth. They'll be ahead because the Jazz are 36-22. They'd be sitting in the fourth seed right now, and they will be literally right behind the Grizzlies had they not lost those games. And those are all winnable games. They were already winning. So they had some really terrible losses, but y'all, like, they have made up for it in a big way. I think they're 10-3 with Nikola Jokic in the lineup in the last 13 games he's played. So it's just been great. I would give a letter grade. I'm going to give a letter grade for where they are after the All-Star break. I say a B. Not great, not where you wanted them to be. The terrible losses, but really maybe even a B plus, maybe like an 85 overall. Just because, man, they've overcome so much, so many injuries, COVID, the personnel, and yet even still, they still are sitting at the 6th seed. So let me know, drop it. Let me know what your letter grade is. What's your letter grade for the Nuggets after the All-Star break? Let me know what you're thinking. Y'all, hey, we'll be back soon. All NBA MVP video, and then we got another game against the Kings coming up on Thursday, y'all. Hey, Swipa game. I'm gonna see y'all soon.